Hello nerds, Jinx Coder here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can wipe a disk partition in which you have installed something that you don't require anymore, or you have installed an OS that you want to remove, and it's this safer method to do it too. So for that you need to log into your Windows account, and once you're in your Windows desktop, go into CMD, run it as administrator. Once you run it as administrator, you need to click Windows X and come into disk management. Now, since I'm not in an administrator account, this is a secondary account, it is not going to allow me to open disk partition over here. If you have the same problem as me, you can just type disk mgmt in your command prompt and that should open your disk management. Okay, so my disk 0 has a Arch Linux installation that I currently want to delete. This is because I want to make a video on how you can install Arch Linux properly onto your OS again, and I'm going to do that. So I want this drive to be perfectly cleaned. Now, as you can see, this is not as straightforward. So I have a healthy EFI system partition over here that's about a GB. Then two partitions over here, which are my primary partition and primary partition. So these together have actually the usable amount of space for Arch is the 205 gigabytes one, and this is a healthy system boot partition in which if something goes wrong, Arch boots into this one. So what we can do is just right click on this and delete volume, say yes, wait a couple of seconds, it should say unallocated. Do the same for this one too. Wait until it says unallocated. Now those two got merged and I have a 237 GB unallocated amount of space in my SSD now. Now I want to remove this EFI system partition 2. So you can see that if I right click, I do not get the delete volume option over here. So what we can do instead is to come back to our command prompt. Here you need to type Diskpart. Once you click Diskpart, you will come into this disk partition command line interface. Here you need to write list disk. Now as you can see, I have two disks listed over here. One is the 512 GB SSD and another is the 256 GB SSD. Disk 0 was what I wanted to clean, as you can see over here. So I'll go select disk 0. Once you do that, next command that you need to type is list. This is list partitions, and then select the partition that you want to clean. Then delete partition override. It should say disk partition successfully deleted, and as you can see in the disk management console too, my disk 0 is completely unallocated now. Now you can use it as you normally want, or you could just do a Arch or other OS installation on this one and it should be fine now. If you had any dual boot like grub or systemd setup, doing this will also remove that and you will directly log into the healthy EFI system partition port of the Windows installation. So just be sure you know which parts you're deleting. Just go on to Google, search about it, and you'll get a lot of references for what that partition is, what it actually does, and whether or not you need to delete it. Sometimes this override method will not work for you, and you'll need to specifically search the error that you get over here onto internet, and there are a lot of easier tutorials available on both Reddit and Stack Overflow for this. Just follow one among them and you should be able to delete it. In most scenarios, the tutorial that I just made over here should suffice your needs to delete a system partition. I hope this helps you and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye. Meet you in the next video.